Too raw for TV. I know I'm gonna have people cussing my ass out today. You dumb motherfucker! How the hell you got him this low? You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You stupid, idiotic buffoon! You look. Just an opinion. It's not the end of the world. You know, your rent's not gonna go up. I'm not gonna steal your groceries. You know, you're not gonna catch some unwanted infection just from my opinion. This also is just playoffs. Doesn't mean that I rank these guys in this order overall. So just do a brief recap. So far at number 10, I had Larry Bird. Number 9, Kobe Bryant. Number 8, Shaquille O'Neal. At number 7, I had Tim Duncan. At number 6, I had Irvin Magic Johnson. At number 5, I have LeBron Ramon James. Now, why do I have him so low when you look at the fact that when everything is said and done, he has all of these records? He's played a playoff record 266 games. He's been to the NBA Finals 10 times in his career. He's won 4 NBA championships, 4 Finals MVPs. He's had some unbelievable runs, um, you know, individually. He holds so many records. He's the all-time leader in points in the playoffs at 7,631. More than likely, he's going to add to that before everything is said and done. So he's the all-time leader in total points in playoffs. All-time leader in steals with 454. Um, all-time leader in free throws attempted, free throws made, field goals attempted, field goals made, total minutes. Um, because he's played in so many playoff games, and because he's been such a productive and prolific player, he's going to own the vast majority of playoff records when all is said and done. So why is he fifth? Well, you know what it is. It's all of the losing. All of the losing, underperformances in certain situations, and the underwhelming finals record. It hurts him. It does. Not to mention the fact that when you look at some of the teams that he's been a part of, they should have won more. I mean, when you look at the numbers, I mean, look, for his career, he's averaged 41 and a half minutes in the playoffs. So he's a guy that is out there for extended periods of time. That's one thing you can't question is his durability. In 2007, 2011, 2012, and 2018, he led the playoffs in total minutes and minutes per game. For his playoff career, he's averaged 28.7 points per game. I believe, off the top of my head, that is fifth all time, I think. I think it's behind Jordan, Iverson, Jerry West, and Kevin Durant. So he's right there. Right there as far as most prolific scorer. He's led the playoffs in points per game 3 times: 2009, 2012, and 2018. And as a matter of fact, he's had two of some of the greatest playoff runs we've ever seen. In 2009, that's the year that he did everything possible, but ultimately his team fell to Orlando Magic. That year, he averaged 35.3 points, 9.1 rebounds, 7.3 assists, 1.6 steals, 0.9 blocks on 51% shooting from the floor, 33% shooting from three, 75% from the foul line. What made that run to me the most impressive of his career is because the league wasn't quite the same as it is today. It was changing, but analytics was starting to affect the game a little bit then, but it wasn't as easy to score back then. The pace was a little bit slower. And also, if you remember LeBron James from his first run with the Cavaliers, he wasn't doing all of this stat padding back then. He wasn't as conscious of his numbers back then. I'm not saying he never did it, but back then it was more authentic and more organic throughout the game. Like if he had 40, it came by the flow of the game. Whereas in his second great run in 2018, actually 2017, I think, that year he averaged 34 points, 9.1 rebounds, 9 assists, 1.4 steals, 1 block, 54% shooting from the floor, 34% from three, 75% from the foul line. Ultimately, that's the year that they lost 4 games to one. No, I think that's the year. Yeah, that's the year they lost 4 games to one to the Golden State Warriors. Um, you know, like I said, he's had some amazing runs, but it's the losing. When he went to Miami, he did go to 4 consecutive finals. They won 2 of them, but I think people are being disingenuous when they say that we weren't expecting more. We were expecting. I was recall the talk being minimum three-peat, possibly doing something that we hadn't seen since Bill Russell's Celtics, as far as maybe four-peating. Ultimately maybe 6 championships in 8 years if these guys stay healthy or what have you. That's what I remember the talk being. Most people didn't anticipate Wade breaking down as early as he did. Nobody knew that Chris Bosh was going to have the issues with his health. So a lot of people think this team could be together 6, 7, 8 years. I remember the talk: 6 championships, five minimum. So the two, it's something, but considering that they stacked the deck, it's underwhelming. LeBron had one of the worst playoff performances, if not the worst playoff performance, by a superstar in 2011 in the history of the NBA Finals. Um, Now, even though they lost 2015, LeBron was shorthanded in that finals. But the way that the finals were so, uh, in 2018, the way that those finals and 2017, the way that those finals were so uncompetitive, hurts LeBron James. I know that you can say they were going against the Golden State Warriors, and I get that. I understand that. But you could argue that some teams in the Western Conference gave them more of a challenge than the Eastern Conference winners. So there's that. Then there's the fact that the last few years, LeBron has not been as dominant since he's gone over to the Western Conference. You know, he hasn't been as dominant. His teams haven't been as dominant. They did win a championship in the bubble, um, but a lot of people put an asterisk by that. And at the same time, I can't really fault people for doing it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I used to say, look, you can't do that. You shouldn't put a asterisk by it. But then again, I see a lot of Laker fans put an asterisk by the Spurs title, right? They put an asterisk by the Spurs title in '99. It's become like almost fact. Hey, you only played 50 games. Hey, it's not the same as a regular season. So a lot of people put an asterisk by the Spurs title. So what makes the Lakers special, you can't put an asterisk by them. Wasn't the same situation either. So I can see that argument. LeBron has made the playoffs all but 3 years of his career so far. This year's left to be determined. But all in all, I feel pretty confident putting him right here. I think you can balance out the championships and all of the prolific records he's going to have, but you have to also look at the playoff failures. Um, Times when he hasn't come through. The 6 finals losses. That's a lot. I think only 2 players in the history of the NBA have more finals losses than him. That being Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, and they're not even in his top 10. So I think that's fair. That's fair. Like, he's gonna be the most prolific playoff performer ever when it comes to numbers. But all of the blemishes that he has, it brings him down a couple of notches. So that's how I look at it. Number 5, LeBron James. A lot of people be like, man, you out your motherfucking mind. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.